Hello, everyone.
Okay.
We back. Did y'all hear my look?
Yeah, sure. That's how I want to do that. You made me
That's
feel better.
like the click. That's like the click, click. We in. Hi, everybody. We're here again at
Ooh,
Shaping Solutions. How to elevate in life, in your love, your interactions, and your focus and your energy. I'm Sheila, and we have
I'm
my co
Danielle.
Danielle, and we just here to again help you elevate in life, right? By really what we do, shaping solutions. What do shaping solutions do? Yeah.
If you can shape it in your mind, you can shape it in your life. We helping
Yeah.
you navigate those world life problems that may be plaguing you
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
slightly.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because since we've been doing a podcast, I don't know what kind of feedback you get, but so I get a couple questions like, okay, so what is the podcast actually for? And what are you actually trying to accomplish? And I really think it's just a conversation, right, that we're having about how to really shape solutions for the challenges that come up as we go on a pursuit for the life we deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Um
emphasis on how we, so it's like breaking it down into those steps of how am I? Not just, oh, how you doing today? No, how physically, are you breaking it down? So I do
yeah,
like the way you word that.
yeah. And specifically to a specific person, right? A specific person who is challenged, right? With okay, I did A, I did B, I did C, and you know, what happened? Why do I still feel this disconnect? Why do I still feel this ease? Why am I not happy? And I've done everything I'm supposed to do based on the check boxes, right? Or I'm in a pursuit of these check boxes and it doesn't feel right to me, right? And these obstacles come up as we start to align with ourselves. And so these are the solutions that we're shaping specific to the individual. So we're providing like a framework, right,
Yeah.
that they can use on their journey. And the answer that comes up for them by using this framework is going to be the resolve, the result, the outcome, right? And then at that point, they can seek more help, more clarity, or they will have clarity when they go to seek help. Like, oh, you know what? I noticed that when I do this, I'm triggered. I noticed that when I do this, this thing happens, or I'm feeling like this, but they actually have done some discovery work based on our conversation, the conversation that you and I are having. They've implemented the framework and they've come up with some clarity about the direction they're trying to go. And so when they're going to ask for help, now they have clarity about that direction, right? And so we're kind of like a bridge. Would you agree?
Yes, I like that because it's the difference between saying, "Oh, I just feel lost" versus "I feel lost because of dot dot dot." Like you said, kind of clearing away and trying to narrow and funnel that down to something specific for
Something
that individual.
for that individual. And so before we do our introductions, I do want to give the disclaimer. And because we're just a bridge, right? We're not saying that this framework is going to work for everybody, right? Nor am I suggesting that this is something that you go implement today, right? I'm saying, hey, maybe this is going to bring up a question, but speak with your own therapist, speak with your own coach about this framework if you're interested in applying it, because I don't want, this is not absolute, this is just based on our experiences and things like that, right? So let's go into our introduction. So who is Danielle?
Who is the? Oh, we getting deep.
And what does she do?
Dang it! What am I doing? What do I do? So I'm Danielle MacArthur. I am owner of DCDR Solutions, a continuous improvement based business entrepreneurship, small business entrepreneurship coaching company. I am specifically inspired to help people that are either at that space where they think they want to become an entrepreneur or maybe just started, where, making sure that they have all the foundations covered. And I also touch on mindset because I found that a lot of people have trouble converting to that business owner mindset. So that is a portion of what I do as well, or the reason why I'm here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you ain't telling me you do products. Like she helped you take your product from A to
Oh
Z.
yes, so I can help anybody save money and do all that, but I have a very strong passion for working with people with creatives who have products. I have 15-year experience in manufacturing, solving problems, saving them money. So let me help you get you right instead of me feeding some corporate beef.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it. Every time she say the product thing, it's just kind of, because I think that we need more people in that space, especially people who look like us that actually has the skill set, the background and the experience and the framework to bring into like this space to give us the same type of, I guess, framework alignment so that we can
Structure,
accelerate
yes.
structure so we can accelerate, so we can see more of our products on the shelves or in more people's hands, right?
Yep.
I'm Shiela, I am Shiela Little. I am currently a doctoral candidate in a PhD program for business psychology, right? But I've been a therapist for 20 years. But what I do in my business and on this podcast is really help people to solve their problems. And how do I help people to solve their problems? Well, I coach them. Well, I consult the problem. Okay, let's kind of figure this out. I help coach them so that they can develop the skill set, mindset needed to solve the problem. And then I do some therapeutic techniques to help heal, any type of, you know, uh, traumas and things like that that could possibly get in the way of them moving forward. And based on that experience, I realized that there's a gap, that we experience when we're going to transition our lives. This kind of dis-ease that we start to experience that we don't always give ourselves permission to have. And so really trying to help individuals to manage their emotions during these transitions so ultimately you can have the life you deserve. So yeah,
Love it.
I like that too. I actually like it. So yeah, it gets
I will
me in.
hope you like it. That's what you do.
So many people do stuff they don't like.
Look,
I love this. Like
that's a whole different topic for another day. But no, and that's like me. I love helping people solve problems and being able to research stuff, dig a little bit deeper, have that base knowledge, that perspective. So I would agree, like that's a whole different topic. But doing what you love, that's deep. And it's very rewarding.
It is. It is. But you know how I got here though? Goals. Like I had to create these goals. And, and that's the topic of this show. Goal getter, right?
Goal getter.
Goal getter. Like go getter, right?
Yes.
And I think that I'm excited about this topic, Danielle, because one, goals are so important in our life, but this conversation is going to be the non-traditional conversation on goals because again, I think that we're taught a certain way, right? Just a certain way to do things. But then we set the path out to do this thing. And then it's like, well, wait, that ain't how that was supposed to happen. I thought I was just supposed to, set the goal and then I'm supposed to attain it. And that's just not true.
Step one.
Yes, that's just step one, write the vision, do the goal. But it's a different part of your mind that you actually use, or a different part of your brain that you actually use to execute, goals. And along my journey, there's been some big goals like 20-year goals, and then there's just the day-to-day goal, so there's these different goals that have become a part of my life. But here's the thing, they're so important to the life that I designed today. They're a lot more important to the life that I've designed today because they help me to experience the life I want, if that makes sense. And it helps me to have when I look at goals in this format that we're going to teach our audience, it gives me a little bit more grace and a little bit more peace in the pursuit of going after my goals than I used to have before. Okay. So let's kind of get into it. Goal getter, right? Yeah. So what is a goal? Let's just kind of talk about, what a goal actually is. What is a goal? Do you know what a goal is? Or what do you think a goal is, Dan?
Look, I know that's one where I was like, the answer, but I might Google that just to be safe. It's something you want to achieve. It could be something small, it could be something big, but hit us with the Google. I know you got it.
So yeah, I do, right? So here's the thing. So this is what I think is interesting. The first definition of goal is a pair of posts linked by a crossbar and often attached to a net behind it.
Oh no.
Right? Into over in which a ball has been sent, right? So a goal, right? So football or a soccer goal.
We got America. We got to put sports first.
Yeah. But I think that is truly
actually a good metaphor, though.
A good metaphor, right? It's like this focused place that I'm trying to win, right? I'm trying to score.
Where are you trying to put the ball?
I'm trying to put the ball there, right?
And what do you have to do to put the ball there? Ooh.
Yeah, and the skills that I need, and the techniques, and the team that's who's on my team that's gonna help me deliver this ball, right? So I think that, like, seeing that as the first definition, I'm like, wow, that's amazing, because the team idea of goal is truly remarkable. But the second one is the object of a person's ambition or efforts, an aim or desired result, basically, right? And I think that goals are important, like I said, to what we're doing. But when you think of goals, or when the first time you started really planning or setting goals?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Say, I think it started till I was in my 30s. Like, because I had broad things, but it was just ideas floating in the atmosphere. It was like I knew I wanted something. And for a minute, there was a lot of stuff I wasn't trying to focus on because of situations I had put myself in. But I remember one of the first ones I had when I was working in corporate was, and that wasn't until I was about 30, and it was to make 6 figures. Where it was like, because I had like a soft goal of $70,000. I thought that was a lot of money. And then I hit it a lot sooner than I realized. And I was like, oh, maybe I need to up that bad boy. And then that's when I put conscious effort into, I had just haphazardly landed into the 70,000. I didn't like put a lot of work and effort into it. But once I got there, it was like, okay, now I got to put some work and effort in to get into the 6 figures. So yeah, it wasn't until I was 30. I mean, I've had things that I've done, but putting it in that formal structure, I'm going to do specific things to reach this goal, it wasn't until my 30s.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting that you say I'm going to do specific things, because when we start talking about goals, this acronym always comes up, right?
Yeah.
Which is, if you're going to do a goal, you got to make it sure it's a SMART goal. Yeah. Right.
They shove that down your throat in the manufacturing world.
Yeah, it has to be a SMART goal, right? So do you know what SMART goal is? Can you tell our audience what a SMART goal really is? Okay.
It's something that is realistic. It is measurable. It is attainable, achievable, whatever A you want to pick. It is realistic. I think that is one of the biggest things about it. And it's time bound. So you have some kind of time frame, whether it's a minute from now or 30 years from now, some kind of time frame
that you want to achieve this goal. So a SMART goal, and if you're in business or whatever, this is a big word. Like if you're trying to make goals, you got to make sure that they're SMART. So they have to be a specific goal. Like I want to do A, B, C, D, or I want to lose 20 pounds. So let's say, so I want to lose 20 pounds. It has to be measurable, right?
So that's your measurement, 20
That's
pounds. You know when you won the goal.
Right. So specifically, I want to lose weight. That would be the specific.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the measurable part would be how much weight is that? Right. So it's 20 pounds. So I want to lose 20 pounds. Is that achievable for me? Right. Because if I weigh 100 pounds, would it even be achievable or realistic for me to lose 20 pounds? So now I got to ask myself a question. Is losing 20 pounds achievable for me?
Yeah.
And is it realistic that I can do that? Right. And then time bound, right? So yes, it's achievable. I can, I'm fit enough, you know. Oh, let's do specific, measurable, and realistic. How am I going to do it?
Attainable.
Attainable.
Attainable. Yes, realistic.
Yeah.
Realistic.
Attainable.
How is it realistic?
Yes. So I'm going to lose 20. I want to lose weight. I'm going to lose 20 pounds by, drinking a smoothie a day, counting my calories, and walking an hour, but 4 times a week, right? So that is my measurable and how I'm achieve it. And then now I got to ask myself, is that relevant or realistic for me to do? You know? And yes, it is. And then when do you want to lose 20 pounds by? Well, if the healthy thing is to lose a pound a week, so that'll be in 20 weeks. So 20 weeks from now, that will be my time bound, right?
Yep.
And then I set that goal up. So that's how we're taught to actually do our goals. Now, believe it or not, a lot of people do goals like this. And a lot of people achieve them, but it didn't work for me.
Really?
It didn't. Like I would do these SMART goals, and I'm not saying that they don't work for nobody else. I'm saying it didn't work for me. And it worked for me in collaboration with this next thing that I'm about to talk about with goals. Because I think that, and we access in our business, I didn't have an anchor. Like I just want to lose 20 pounds. You know what I mean? I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to eat this, but I didn't have a reason for why I wanted to lose 20 pounds. And I think that is why the SMART foundation, a SMART goal process didn't work for me, because I didn't have my why. And so once I knew this next thing, which is not only do you need to make a goal SMART, but you need to know if this goal is an end goal or is it a means to the end, right? And this is so important. This is like mind blowing to me when I was working with my coach, well, one of my coaches, and they like, okay, so is that your means goal or is this your end goal? And I'm like, what? And I think me and you had the conversation on Saturday, and I was like, yeah, I want to talk about means and ends goals. And your conversation, and you said what?
I can't remember what I said.
You was like, oh, I think I heard about that, but I
heard it phrased. I mean, well, it's like it, but I had never heard it packaged in that manner.
In that way, like a means and an end goal. And so I want to give the audience this, because if you're working on goals, remember, you want to be a goal getter. These are the things that you need to think about. And this thing of, is this an end goal or is this a means goal, is so important to you actually executing the SMART method, right? And implementing, because you're going to have an anchor behind it. So an end goal, let me just say what an end goal is. An end goal should be something that brings you fulfillment, right? And the means goals are the steps you need to take to get to the end goal, right? And how this looks is, I don't know if you ever, how do you know what your end goal is asking this 5 whys, 5 whys, why, W-H-Y, right?
Yep.
So let me give an example. I want a promotion. You ask me why.
Why do you want a promotion, Sheila?
Because I want more money.
Why do you want more money, Sheila?
Because I want to travel.
Why do you want to travel, Sheila?
Because I want a life of experiences and adventure, right? So that's we only got to that point in 4 whys. But ultimately, I want a promotion.
Why do you want? Yes.
Is based on this fact that I want a life full of experience and adventure. But we never think about the end, right? We never really think, why am I doing this? So it's like, Sheila, let's do take me through. This is organic, y'all, but take me through, Sheila, why you want to lose 20 pounds? So I want to lose 20 pounds.
Why do you want to lose 20 pounds, Sheila?
Because I want to look good in my clothes.
Why do you want to look good in your clothes?
Really, because I don't want to go out and have to buy other clothes, but I want to feel more attractive, right?
Look, we're going to get deep here.
Right.
You want to feel more attractive.
Because I want to love the person that I see when I look in the mirror, right? I want to love her. I want to be like, girl, you is the stuff, you know? And sometimes weight can take that from me, right? But ultimately, the 20 pounds, my end goal is so that I can love myself and have a healthy life, right? And when I can say, okay, that is the end for me. I want to love the person I look at in the mirror and I want to be healthy. Now, when I apply this SMART method, it skips over the looking good in your clothes, right? Because if I just stayed at like, oh, I want to look good in my clothes, right? Well, I just go buy
some bigger clothes.
Yeah, I just go buy another size, right? Like, feel that diet. But if it's an intrinsic feeling, if it's I want to feel good about the person that I'm looking at in the mirror and I want to feel healthy, that anchor is gonna really help me to execute that SMART method a lot more. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to everybody. And if it makes sense to you, go thumbs up in the chat.
I need to put a quick, maybe realistic spin on it. So when I was in the corporate world, we did this a lot. We rolled this out, and this is kind of part of my motivation for wanting to bring this to small businesses because they have big goal, and that goal is spread across different departments. And then each different department has to say, what are they going to do to contribute to getting to that goal? So, you know, if you're in the finance department, you're going to have to make sure you close month in so that we know how much money we did so we can put action items so we save money. So it's like, it's layers because you have to have the end goal. What is the goal? We want to make $1 billion this year. You put that out there, that's the end. But what are you going to do to do that? So,
yeah. Or even, why do you want to make $1 million? Like, another example is like, I want to leave my job. Ask me why.
Why do you want to leave your job, Sheila?
Because it's not flexible enough for me.
Why do you need flexibility?
Because I am not around enough for my children, and I feel like I'm not performing good as a parent.
Why don't you feel like you're performing good enough as a parent?
Because I want to be present for my children as they grow in their life and experience more of their time as young people, and my job is preventing me from that. But do you see how we just broke that down and gave it more meaning, right?
Yes.
So the end goal is really because I want to be more of a present parent in my life, right? So, and this job is preventing me from doing that. And that's ultimately why I want to leave. But sometimes there's emotions around the end goal because it's really based on our internal desires. Okay. And this is why, so we got goal, right? Means ends, and then SMART. But the O because y'all know I do an whole acronym, right? So the O is also important because, and this is sometimes what stops us from talking about the end result, is these obstacles. Okay. Whenever we go for our goals, we face these obstacles, right?
Always face obstacles.
Always. Like it's
Always.
and here's the thing. I think that we I don't want to say it. We have these really unrealistic beliefs that, when you get your life in order and when you start doing the thing that you want to do, that like in some way all the arrows are supposed to, face the same way, and this is supposed to be an easy road for me, right?
No.
And that's just not true, right? And we start to sometimes, in this pursuit of going after our goals or becoming a goal getter, we made a decision. Pretty much we've come up in our mind, I don't really like the life that I have, or I want to do something different. And so we set the mark, and that's the goal, right? But know that that mark is a different direction than what your life is currently going, right? If you're in the beginning stages of attaining a goal, you're attaining something different. Just that mere fact that you want to experience something different is going to cause you to face some obstacles. All right.
Self-induced obstacles.
It's the mind. So we go back to the mind again. The brain wants to keep you safe, and the safest place that it can keep you is in the space that you're in right now.
Yep.
Around the habits that you have right now, and comfortable with the environment that you're in right now, right? That's the safest place that the brain can keep you. So if you say, hey, you know what? I want my income to change. I want the dynamics in my relationship to change with the same person, or I want a different relationship. Know that that's different, and that's automatically going to trigger fight, flight, or freeze in
Ooh, that's
your
another F.
yeah. So either you're going to fight, you're going to flight, like not do it, or you're going to freeze, you're going to procrastinate, right? And what does fight look like as an obstacle? Fight is that it's the struggle. The struggle is real. Like, everything is a fight. Like, oh, I gotta get up in the morning, I gotta do this. In my book that I wrote this book, is called The Dream That Broke Me Down to Stand Me Up. And I talked about in this book, like how every day in this journey of entrepreneurship, I would put on my armor. Like every morning I would get into meditation and I would put the armor on, because I knew that there was a fight that I had to go out and fight today, and how I was mentally preparing for the no's, and how I was, mentally preparing myself for the rejections. And I said this with pride, like, I'm going to mentally put on my armor for the day, And in the book, I started to talk about how, well, if your energy goes where your attention flows, or your attention flows where your energy goes. I was preparing myself for the fight, right? So I'm actually saying, hey, Shiela, you finna go out and meet these people that's finna tell you no. And that's what my brain was looking for. That's what I was preparing myself for that morning. And that is what I experienced at the end of the day. But I was creating that obstacle because that was based upon a belief system that said, when you go after the life you want, there's going to be so many rejections and so many people that tell you no, and you just going to have to stuff it up and pray about it to God,
Yeah.
And, I was like, this is a lot, because I'm coming home defeated sometimes.
Tired. Mentally tired.
Mentally tired. So the part of this and goal getter is to know that you're going to face obstacles, but how do you turn this obstacle into an opportunity? Right? How do I know I'm going to face this challenge, and how do I make that challenge an opportunity? And the way we turn our obstacles into opportunities, Miss Danielle, is perspective.
Amen. That's my favorite word because I'm glad you said that because it's something that's been going around. Heard Jay-Z say it. I'm sure a bunch of people said it, but things don't happen to you. Things happen for you.
Yes.
And if you can gain that perspective to take yourself out of your emotions and realize, why is this happening for me?
For me. Yeah. And what's my lesson? And I always say, life, you know how people, you live and you learn. That's it. Like, it ain't you live, learn, fail. Like, no, you live and you learn. Meaning you either doing the thing you want to do or you learning how to do the thing you want to do. And that's how you have to see the obstacle. The obstacle is there to teach you what you still need to learn, what you still need to strengthen, what you still need to calibrate in yourself to be able to get through that. Okay. And I think that it's important that when we're faced with the obstacle to watch our language, you know, a lot of times I feel like when we've been in traumatic situations or we're used to being the victim, quote unquote, being a victim, because a lot of times we're being a victim, we don't really know it. When we're going after our goals, we will carry that same cloak on us. Like, oh, they know I'm trying to go to school and they just trying to be haters. But no, maybe this is just an obstacle because you have some disbelief in your ability to go to school. And it's just easier for you to blame somebody else's opinion of you than to just say, you know what, hey, I feel a little inadequate. I don't really feel smart enough. I need to get a tutor, or I need somebody to help me with this, to be vulnerable enough to express what the need is for you to actually overcome this.
I need to change my major.
Yeah. It ain't my strength. Like,
This ain't working for me. Yeah.
And when I go back to that, we did it in Shape Your Life. Your personality may not be aligned with that. You may, not have ever experienced that. So you need help. And so sometimes ultimately the obstacle is there so that you can ask for what you need.
How do we ask for what you need?
Excuse me.
That ain't it.
Help. I need help. That's the simplest form. I need help. This is what I need you to do.
Yeah.
This is what I need help with, right? And listen, dealing with the emotions of somebody saying, well, I can't help you do that. You the one that chose to quit your job and start a business. I ain't the one who, and it's like, okay, well, you're not the person that's going to help me. Let me go to the next person, right? And each time you're facing your own fears, you're facing your own emotions. But when you get to that yes, or you may figure out a different way. Well, maybe I'm going to take my classes at night and not in the morning. But the thinking critical mind is starting to roll now, and you're starting to move forward. The point about this, though, is when you make a goal, don't let the obstacle stop you. Find a way through it, because it's who you're becoming. Like, obstacles strengthen us. A true obstacle course is there to strengthen you, to make you think. These obstacles are there to help strengthen you and make you think, so you can be more proficient when you actually reach that goal. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So we got G, goals, smart goals. And is it a means or ends goal? And is it smart? So we know we got to identify, to become a goal getter. We know we got to identify our goals. And then along the journey, we have to give ourselves permission to face obstacles, because it's not going to be easy. And we need to learn how to turn these obstacles into opportunities, right? And these opportunities is truly, okay, the opportunity to grow, the opportunity to heal, the opportunity to ask for help, right? And so this is where we get coaches, new friends, surround ourselves in different environments that's going to help us, right? But that is truly why the obstacle is showing itself. It's saying, hey, you need more support. Hey, you need something different. Hey, you need to think about this a little more, okay? Now, so we understand we need help. We understand what the goal is. Now we get to A. To be a goal getter, we absolutely 100% need A. And what is
Yeah.
everything? Yeah.
Affirmations, baby.
Affirmations. Affirmations. Oh my gosh. Affirmations are so important. So let me define what do you know what affirmations are?
Look, man, don't be putting me on the spot like that. I know
It's
what
not,
they are, I don't know
mhm.
the technical definition. I have a lot of definitions swirling in my head, but
What
something
would
that
you
speaks life into, you're affirming something. So yeah, hit us with the Webster.
yeah, so the Webster's Dictionary and the action or process of affirming something or being affirmed. Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm close. I
So
don't like words that use the word in the definition, so that's why I didn't like that. But
so then let's go to number 2, emotional support and encouragement.
here we go.
Right? So I think this is important because I think we overlook the importance of what affirmations actually are there to do. So, along my journey of being an entrepreneur, I came in with all of these limiting beliefs about what I can do and who I was just as an individual. So, let's talk about that as a minority woman, right? That came from impoverished situations in an impoverished home, a single parent home, was raised by my grandparents, um, in a school district that was quote unquote in a poor community, number one murder capita in the United States at one time. I grew up in that neighborhood, right? So you see how all of these things, and then now let's just talk about me. Got whooped because I talk too much. You think you're too smart,
Oh
they
man,
actually tried to put me up in the kindergarten and first grade. My mom was like, we really can't put her up because she really don't think she's too smart. Like. So all of these things in some way stunted how I saw myself, right? But there was still a me inside of me that was like, hey, you can do more. Like
you
you can
got
be
this. Yeah.
more. But I had these limiting beliefs that was actually stopping me from becoming the person I wanted to be. I remember going into a relationship and not really being domesticated, right? And not really knowing like I could cook, my family could cook, but not really knowing how to schedule that. Like when do I cook? What do I cook? I'm cooking
Girl,
fried
you
chicken all
speaking
the
my
time,
soul right now.
fried
Get out my
chicken and
head.
mashed potatoes and corn. Like that's what I'm gonna cook for you all the time. And
God, no.
oh yeah. Or having young kids and the house is always a mess and feeling inadequate because the house is always a mess. So when people come over, they're like, why your house a mess? Because do you see these 3 boys running around? I can't keep
Man,
nothing clean. But it was a projection on me not feeling enough, me not feeling valued and things like that. Now, the woman, though, that I wanted to become when I started shaping solutions was this powerful, amazing woman who can influence individuals to not only take the leading space in their life, but to go after the life that they deserve, like they felt like they deserve. How am I gonna do that? How am I gonna do that, Shiela? This person that came from humble beginnings that was still developing my voice. Well, first I thought I would do it through, going through college, getting the degrees and doing all this stuff. But there was still this not enoughness,
yep.
that I felt. And I remember one of my clients, because I had this little sticker on this is how powerful affirmations are. I had this little sticker on my computer and it said, I am enough. And then I had it wrote in all my mirrors at home, I am enough. And at this point we was transitioning. So we was moving and I really wanted my kids to not attach themselves to the house. And I just wrote, I am enough on their windows and everything. And I went to work one day and my client was like, Shiela, you're so confident. You're so, why do you have I am enough wrote on your computer? And I had to tell her because sometimes I have to remind myself that I am enough and that I can do this. And even when life is breaking down or I'm faced with these obstacles in the process of me attaining this end goal, I'm still enough to make that happen. And the switch for me was just that affirmations. like really starting to say, okay, Shiela, who is that woman? And everybody know I got like a 20-page vision for my life, 20 to 40-page vision for my life of what it's going to be like. My business plan was 120 pages. Like I literally
the
wrote
business plan book.
Yes, 120 pages. I had, but it was like, okay, who do you need to be to execute that? I broke it down to like 30 pages. Like I took a lot of stuff out. But when I first wrote it, it was thick, you know. Then it's like, who do you want to be in, you know, in your relationships? Who do you want to be in, you know, with your health? What do you want your lifestyle to be like? Like 12 different categories in my life. Like I literally wrote detail. Then the last question was, now who do you need to be to do that? Well, I got to be a confident woman, you know? So that's one of the affirmations. I'm a confident woman. You know, I'm more than enough. I can accomplish anything I put my mind to. And here's the thing, those affirmations was like new inventory. It's like what I needed to attain that goal, because this is messages that I had not heard, right? A lot in my life. I had not heard that. Nobody said, "Oh girl, you a confident woman on the move." You know, and if I heard it sparingly, right? Like once a year.
You didn't take it seriously.
I didn't take it seriously.
Thought somebody was they just gassing me up.
Yeah. I couldn't take it in. I mean, now throughout my life, as people said, Shiela, you're beautiful. Oh, you're so smart. Have I heard those things? Yes. I just didn't believe those things because there was a pre-program in me that you talk too much, you think you the stuff, you know, being a poor family on the block, just feeling unworthy and not just you know, just the things that came up between birth through, you know, 12 years old that had really shaped the way I saw myself. So after 12, 13, you know, you could have said anything, but I had already set up these beliefs that I'm not attractive enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not so many things that I wasn't enough of, that when I really went to try to pursue my goals, right? Those things was the obstacles now that I had to deal with. And the way that we overcome those obstacles is with affirmations, stacking them every day.
You know,
we get 50 to 80,000 messages in our brain. I think it's a minute, but I'm gonna say a day just to keep myself, you know. Now, if we get 80,000 messages a day, and 80,000 of those messages, if 80% of those messages is programmed for what I cannot be, because of what I'm seeing in social media, because of what I've heard in my community, because of what I heard just about me of being a statistic. So 80% of these thoughts is not in alignment with the direction I want to be, right? Whose responsibility is it for me to become that woman? Is it your responsibility to keep telling me over and over and over again, you know, Shiela, you're amazing, you're wonderful, you're beautiful, you could do it, you could do it. Like cheerleaders are good,
but if you don't believe it, and I gotta chime in because I had to tell my husband this. I love my husband to death. He tells me I'm beautiful every day. I'm not receptive to that because I always thought when people complimented me, they wanted something from me. I said, they don't hand out confidence when you're born. You have to grow that. I have to believe I'm beautiful so I can receive that information, because that's why I tagged in, because you said it, because of media, TV, movies, all this other stuff. When I rank myself, I don't feel that way. But in the grand scheme of things, yes, I've heard it a million times and it's just like, whatever. But because I don't think I look like that, it has to be work. I work on myself and come to realize, no, I am beautiful the way I am. Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't need this, and this, and this.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, and telling yourself that over and over and over and over.
That's when you get caught.
And now when you get the muscle, right? And so this is the importance of affirmations, because they actually help you to stack the deck up against your old mindset, your old way of thinking, your old beliefs. Because listen, you're not going to forget that. It's interesting when I hear people say, I'm just trying to close that out. I'm just trying to get over that. No, that's not something you get over. Once the brain experiences that, it already got a story, already got a level of emotion to it. You don't get over that, right? But what you can do is create new experiences and new beliefs, and new experiences and new beliefs, and new experiences and new beliefs to start to balance. So now I got new experiences and new beliefs, and that's weighing on me way more, heavier than these old outdated beliefs and programs. And this is the power of affirmations when we're going after our goals, because whoever you need to be to attain that goal, you need to have some language that you're telling yourself every day, every night before you go to sleep. When do we say this? Every night before you go to sleep. And when you get up in the morning, that's aligned with the person you're becoming.
Yes, and I like your analogy that you spoke on the weekend about it's a primer. You want a new coat of paint on your walls. You got a new thing you're reaching for. What do you have to do to block the old paint? Got to put a primer.
Yeah. And that is exactly what affirmations do. They help to block you from hearing that old thing. And even when it come up, it actually gives you a defense, or like a humorous at that old thought, like, man, I could actually remember feeling like I wasn't enough, right? When it comes up for me now, or when I start to feel a little, like I get anxious before I get on the show, right? It's like, oh, are you going, flutter over your words, like, and I kind of am humored by that now, because that was the very feeling I had at one time that actually stopped me from doing podcasts, that actually stopped me from stepping out in front of videos. But priming my brain with new affirmations, you have people that is ready to hear you. Your voice is powerful. You know what you're talking about. Like, I literally record myself saying affirmations and listen to my own voice tell myself. That's the most powerful thing. Like, listen to my own voice tell me. Now, is it awkward? Absolutely. Is it one of those things?
You good one for that one.
Yeah. Is it one of those things where you like, am I really recording myself and telling myself, like, I love myself, and are you really?
I'm gonna try. I'm stealing your idea though. I'm gonna do that.
Are you really doing this? Yes, I am. When I first listened to it, was it the most awkwardest thing to listen to? Yes. But you know what I realized? It wasn't awkward of me actually doing it and listening to it. The awkwardness was that at that time, I didn't believe that. And that was the sophisticated me not believing. Like, girl, why you finna say that to yourself? Like, you already love yourself. Well, if I love myself, then why do I feel awkward about saying I love myself? If I love myself, then why do I feel awkward about, looking in the mirror and telling myself I love myself? Why is that uncomfortable for me? But now I'll be like, girl, I love you. Oh, girl,
okay.
I love you. You see what I'm saying? Because I've trained my brain and I've overcome those obstacles in my mind by stacking up the deck, priming my brain, and stacking up my beliefs with new beliefs about who I am and who I'm becoming. And so if you're a go-getter, you need to do the same. It's just so powerful.
Love it.
I love it. I love it. And then we come to L, right? We come to our L in becoming a goal getter. And the L is what, Miss Danielle?
List it out. This is my favorite thing to do. I am my mother's child. Get a notebook,
List.
get a Word doc.
LIST.
List.
Let me tell y'all what a list is. A list is a number of corrected items or names written or printed consecutively, typically ones below, right? A list is a list of things that we list out, and that's the kind of list I'm telling you about. It's a literal consecutive things that need to be done. Yeah. Listen, I know we talked about, so do you want to tell them why lists are important? Because I know you and I talked about it. So tell them why lists are important and why you just love lists.
Well, for me, I be having memory gaps, so I can't even always remember what I say because I talk to a lot of people. But for me, it's the power in physically writing something, because when you write it out, that is the first step to making it real. Because like you said, we got 80,000, like you said, using your reference, 80,000 things swirling around. You got to get it out. And when you write it down, that's the first step to making it real. And then when you start to build, like you said, start writing out that list of things you got to do, then it gets more real. It really starts to sink in. Oh man, I need to do this, or this is what I need to do this. And it just helps make it real, in my opinion. So that's why I like lists, because actually in my corporate world, I find it was like reminders. And because I would write everything down. I had sticky notes, I had notepads, I would write everything down. And even if I forgot it, it seemed like things always had a way of working themselves out, because I might see the thing and I'm like, oh man, let me send this email real quick because I think I need to do something about that. And it's just that constant reminder that you have something bigger that you're working on.
Yes, yes. So, yes, absolutely. Lists are the physical element in the first step. Write it down. The second reason why lists are so important is because they become a performance metrics for you. So being a very much data-driven person, right? And because we're in an elusive stage of transforming your life, like, and we're so results driven, like I need to see, and I don't know how many of y'all do this, but you can be like, oh, I need to clean this room up, right? And then, the first thing to do when you cleaning up is mess everything up. So, you take the pillows out, like deep cleaning, right? And so in the middle of that, you feel so overwhelmed because now, true example, I wanted to redo my bedroom. So I went and got curtains and, pictures to put on my walls and, and I'm cleaning my closet, right? And in the middle of, pulling all the stuff off that I didn't want on my clothes, like I became overwhelmed because now it's like a mess. Like my room is a mess. If I would have had a list though, right? Okay, take your pants down, hang your pants back up, take your shoes, take them, transfer them, because I transferred my shoes from one closet to the other closet. Take your shoes, transfer them to the closet. Take these pictures down, put these pictures up. Fold up these baskets, whatever. If I would have had a list, then I would have seen
strategic, a little bit more strategic.
Yeah. So at the end, now I got the curtains up, the curtains are hung, the pictures are up, the clothes are the clothes are in the closet, the shoes are everything needed to be done that was on the list, but in my mind I was still overwhelmed because the stuff I didn't want now, the trash that was left over on the floor that needed to be swept up, the clothes that I didn't want that need to be in the garbage bag, the bed that needs to be made up now, right? So now I feel like I hadn't accomplished what I set out to accomplish when I went to sleep that night because I didn't have a way to measure the things as I got them done. And lists do this when we're working on our goals. They serve as a performance metrics for you. So if you say, to attain this goal in 30 days or in 3 months, I'm going to do this, do this thing. I want to
go back to the weight loss. So what do you have to do? Write down what does Sheila need to do.
Right.
For 20
to lose weight.
20 weeks.
In 20 weeks. So just say I need to go shopping. I need to, get my fruit, FRUITS, get my vegetables and things like that. I need to, get my exercise clothes. I need to do this, but then I need to walk every day. I'm, focused on losing a pound a week, right? Now, I write this out, and every day it's like, okay, what are 3 things you're going to do, Sheila, to move towards losing that weight? And so then I go in, okay, check, I ate my salad, check, I ate my smoothie, check, I did my workout, check, the next day I went there. Now, 14 days went by, and it's like, man, I ain't lose no weight, right? Now, here's the thing, though. When I look back over, I feel more healthier. I'm more energized. I got the energy and momentum. I'm not, I'm going to work out more. Like I can feel the strength in my body and things like that. And when I go back over this list, now I can say, you know what, you do feel healthier because you actually struck a smoothie every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do, you know, you are more stronger. You can get up that hill because you actually ran like 3 or 4 times a week, right? And
Mm-hmm.
where I'm looking at losing this 1 pound, this list can help me not just say, well, you on the right track because you've done everything you're supposed to do, but also let me see other things I was able to accomplish in the pursuit of losing this 20 pounds. Now that 3rd week, I'm going in like, oh, I'm more fit. I got more energy. I got all of this stuff, you know, and then I may drop 3 pounds that week or 5 pounds that next week, right? Because now I did set into this goal, right?
Yeah.
But this really serves as a performance thing because I don't know if y'all feel this way. I just went under construction. It took a year for them to finish, you know, doing the stuff. It took a year for us to kind of finish that. If I didn't have lists like Office One complete, I felt so like nothing's getting done. It's so much ahead of me. But every time I went to that list, I'm like, yeah, Shiela, but you got this done and you got this done and you got this done. And it helped to provide a sense of accomplishment in the transition from A to Z. So lists are so important to being a goal getter because it helps you with data.
Yeah.
And data
And that's
helps you to measure your results.
that's something that I do with my clients. I have a tool where it breaks key components of your business plan down into monthly metrics. It's groups. So you may have 4 or 5 individual things with a main thing. And it's like you count, okay, maybe you got 4 out of 5. But like you said, you can see which 4 you got. And you can see which one you missed. And so now it allows you to, okay, I need to put some more energy into this because this one is easier. That tracking mechanism of, okay, what exactly what you said, what progress have I made? Because there's so much that goes into a goal. It's, you know, it's not just one thing. And so even if you're killing one thing, give yourself the credit for
the
backing that one thing.
And listen, it is so imperative that we really understand that we are accomplishing so much more in our life than we're giving ourselves permission for. You know, over our life, you know, this is what resumes do. It's like a CVS of like all the stuff you've done, you know. And when you do an adequate resume, like people finna transition in their life. And when you do a resume, there's something called transferable knowledge or transferable skills that you can use in this new venture. And you feel like, oh, I got to start over. But no, if you go out and list all the skills that you had to do to actually do that task, you will see that those skills can also help you to execute in that task. And being a coach, sometimes I'm working with people on their problems, and they can come because we're emotional beings, you know, we can come like way down with the emotion of the day and feel like this particular situation have you feeling defeated. And sometimes I have to give them a list of who they are and what they've been able to accomplish, just to change the perspective real fast and say, yeah, you having a difficult time today, but this is the person that did this and this and this and this, right? To remind them. And then it's like, oh yeah, thank you for reminding me that I was able to do that, right? And for yourself, back to these affirmations and back to overcoming obstacles and really getting that, having the ends to the means or the means to the end. When you're goal setting, these lists actually helps to build up the momentum, the courage, the confidence, and the performance that you need to actually sustain the, you know, the energy that you're going to need to actually pursue those goals. And listen, audience, this was one thing I had to learn. Once you accomplish a goal, that is not the end of life. A new goal will show up. You know,
it better show up.
It's important for us to know, because I used to have this thing like, oh, once I get here, everything's going to be cool. Or once I do this, then everything is going to be fine. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. Like once you do this, another layer opens and other goals come up and other things. And that's why I said be a goal getter, because you're going to
Yeah.
be getting goals all your life, like
One of the
literally.
one of the best examples I gotta tag in, because I'm sure a lot of people can relate. That kid mark where you like, oh, they in daycare. I can't wait till they get in. Right? Oh, I'm gonna save money. Greatest lie ever told. And
Yeah.
you got to school. Right now I gotta do this. Now I need to fulfill their lives while they're in school. What am I doing to fulfill their lives? Then as they get older, now it's extracurricular stuff and in school stuff. And it just never
Never stops, never stops. And somewhere in
like
our
the goal as a good parent is to, like you said, you want to be there, you want to be active, you want to be engaged. I think that's a good example of like have that mindset. It never stops. Think about how we transition from kindergarten to college, or whether you went to the military or whether you went straight to work. Like that's life. It never stops.
never
So
stops.
you should never stop.
No. And the good thing about this acronym, Danielle, and let me know if you agree, when you kind of use this, when you start to structure your goals, okay, is this the means to an end, or is this the end goal that I'm pursuing? And what obstacles am I going to face in the pursuit of this, and how do I turn those obstacles into opportunities, and what affirmations where do I need to be affirmed, right, in my life or in my spaces, and what affirmations do I need to tell myself to accomplish this, and my list, how often am I completing that? Those actual things become great habits to develop, right? And then you start just kicking out goals like this, because you're like, okay, this is the means to an end. Like, I want to live this life that I deserve, or I want to be healthy. But in the pursuit of me being healthy and, attractive to myself, I'm really starting to like this workout thing. You know what I mean? And I'm like listening to these affirmations. It's like, oh, you're beautiful, amazing, wonderful. You're healthy, wealthy, wise. I'm writing these lists of, how I'm performing in life. And just that thing in itself is rewarding, and I ain't even lost the 20 pounds yet. But because I got a measure for the things that I'm gonna do in the pursuit of this, that is giving me energy and motivation. That is inspiring me to keep on keeping on. So even when the 20 pounds is gone, I'm gonna still be on this health fit, because it just makes me feel good to do these things in this order.
And I want to piggyback, because as somebody who has actually done exactly what you're saying, where I lost weight and, did all this stuff, that confidence, it's okay, to be cocky as long as you're not rude or, annoying with it. But I think that was my bigger thing, where it was like, because, the world makes cocky, confident people seem threatening. And especially as Black women, we're not allowed to come across too strong and all this other stuff. But I get it now. Like, it was one of those things where it was like, no, if I look good, I think I look good.
Right.
That's all that matters. I lost this weight. Like you said, I'm more energetic. I enjoy doing this. I am rewarding myself with this confidence. Thank you very much.
Right. And I think, before we actually talk, I'm grateful that you lost the weight, though, because I know we talked about that. I know that was big for you. So congratulations on that. But before we end the broadcast and surprise our people with the great thing that we're doing for them, I do want to say that, again, I believe that it's not about the end. It's about who you become on the journey, right? Not so much the end of the journey. And I feel like using this framework, this goal getter framework, actually helps an individual build the habits to sustain whatever is the goal that you actually have. Because some of us go out and we lose the weight, or we get the job, or we get the money, but we don't have the inventory or the mindset or the beliefs and habits underneath it to actually sustain that and make it a lifestyle. And this goal getter acronym is really there to help you build the habits and shift your mindset, right? And really transition and transform your life so that ultimately you can use these tools to, like I said, live the life you desire, but help shape the world that you want to live in. And if you keep repeating it over and over again, you will be a better person as a consequence of it. So I wanted to say that, right? Now, drum roll, like as we go to end, thank you guys for listening in. If you have a goal, if you have a question about either one of those, the G, the O, the A, the L, comment. If this really worked for you, give us a thumbs up. What we got for them though, we're gonna put in the link. I got a link too.
Sugar snaps, we got us a 30-day affirmation challenge.
Yes. I'm so excited about this offer because I truly feel like, again, we want to make sure that you are transforming from the inside out. And we spent a lot of time on affirmations because I really want you guys to know how important they are. And so we want you to come on a journey with us, right? And do this 30-day affirmation challenge. In the link, in the either the caption up here or in the comments down there, you're going to see a bit.ly link. When you click that link, sign up to our email list and you'll start getting your 30 days of affirmations. And again, it's going to tell you, how to use them, how to go through them. But I'm just excited that we came up with this to offer, the audience. It's free. It's not going to cost you nothing, but I promise you will gain a greater experience on how you see yourself and how you see your world as a consequence of it. Again, it's based on our life acronym: love, interactions, focus, and energy. And so we was very intentional about each category. And, first week is love, second week is interactions, third week is focus, and then your fourth week is energy and emotions. But if I ever had an offer to give, this would be my greatest gift to give an individual, just the ability to see yourself the way you want to see yourself, and that's just powerful in itself. So, click the link, because I go to talk about, because we can have a false representation of who we are. And that's why it's so important to really talk about how to attain our goals, because all of us have goals and ambitions and dreams that we're going for. And on the pursuit of those goals, I think we become more of the person that we get more in alignment with ourselves. Yeah. And as a consequence of that, there's just a natural energy that's rinsed into your body, that is exuded out of your life, that is felt in your presence when you are in alignment with you. And hopefully these affirmations truly help you to impact. So download that, click that link and go to our affirmation page. Like I said, either it's up in the caption or it's in the comments. So, thank you, Danielle, for being a goal.
I'm working on it. Look, continuous improvement. I'm working on getting bigger and bigger goals. And it's funny, I didn't realize that's one of the things that I do when I work with people is I try to give them, it's exactly what you said, perspective. So if they have I want to start this business, I'm going to find somebody so big and extra that is actually doing it so that they can see this is real. No matter what you want to do, there are dog walkers in California making 6 figures. You can do anything. So it's that's that perspective I like to bring to people. And you have that goal, like you said, that's the end goal for, for a business. You want to be like, you want to be like Puff Daddy. All right, let's break down the steps to get you to be like Puff Daddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I love this topic because this is what I do.
Yeah, and I think it's just important to be a goal getter, right? In your life, I think it gives you direction. I think it gives you meaning and purpose. I think it gives you direction and clarity on the pursuit of it, because you have to critically think about some things. And life is about evolving. I mean, we're either getting taller or shorter, we're losing skin every day. Your cells are replicating or, reproducing themselves. So you're growing. right? Why not, physically do that in your life and just set goals? And they don't have to be big goals, but we're talking to high performing individuals who want something different in their life and looking for that change. And a lot of times we've psyched ourselves because we started to do something. And I wanted to say this too. We started to do something in our life and we gave up. And then we start over again and we gave up. And what we don't realize is that in that process of starting and stopping, we reinforced a negative belief or a limiting belief, right? And a part of this goal getter is to really ignite you back to so you can know, no, you can do it. And I know you've tried to do it over and over again, but this next time you're going to have a framework that truly helps you to work on this goal from the inside out and really help you to deactivate yourself from the anxiousness that you feel when you go into this pattern of procrastination or facing these obstacles, really giving you a different narrative. So I'm just thankful. I know I'm so
excited.
You tell me, no, I'm silly, but I am very excited to be on the Shaping Solutions podcast, teaching you guys how to elevate in your life, in your love of self, in your interactions with others, in your focus, and in your energy. And I thank you, for giving us this opportunity to teach you once again how to be a goal getter. I'm Shiela.
I figured you was gonna say is tell us about the affirmations that changed your life. Maybe you're already a goal getter. Tell us some of those. What's that affirmation that really brung it home? Share with us, please.
Yes, put it right in the comments. Matter of fact, since you said that, 3 affirmations that work for me. Everything is always working for my good. He that is in, these are scriptures though. He that is in me is greater than he that is in the world. And everything is always working for my good. He is that is in me is greater than he that is in the world. And what is my third one?
I lost it. You got it. Then I get to do mine.
Everything is working for my good. He that's in me is greater than he that's in the world. We just gonna stick with those 2. Oh, that I was built with love, power, and a sound mind. That's it. Like I wake up with those every day. I say those to myself all the time. But the number one is everything is always working for my good.
So I'm gonna hit you with one. So I actually created one for my house this year because I'm trying to shed some old hoarding habits or light hoarding habits. And one that I'm saying to everybody, everything that we need is in this house. Everything that we need is in this house. Mine, I am smart. It seems very simple, but to say it to yourself is very impactful. And then one of my favorites I got from my morning accountability group was I make a tremendous amount of money doing what I love.
Oh, that's powerful. Say it again.
Yes. I make a tremendous amount of money doing what I love. And then my next runner-up, I make everything around me beautiful.
I make everything around me beautiful. I think that's great to close. We make everything around us beautiful.
That's all we're trying to do, baby.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow us on our Facebook page. We do have our YouTube channel up, which is Shaping Solutions. You can follow us at I Am Shaping Solutions. You can follow Miss Danielle at where?
DCDR Solutions.
Remember, if we could shape it in your mind, you could have it in your life. I'm Shiela. That's Danielle. We'll see you guys next week.